It's a pleasure to have you here in the beautiful town of at the Escola Superior de Turismo e Tecnologia Marítima. My name is Inês Caetano, and I am honored to serve as your host and guide for today's event. Today's conference marks an important milestone as we conclude the Green Campus project, a collaborative effort supported by ENAS, FISU, CIA, EUNIC, and Cuicu University, Pablo Dolavid. Over the past 2 years, this project has worked tirelessly to promote sustainable and healthy lifestyles on university campuses across Europe. To start, I'm delighted to introduce Andrea Castanha from ENAS, who will provide an overview of the Green Campus project and its achievements. Please join me in welcoming Andrea.
Thank you. It's working? Okay. Thank you, Ines. And for those of you who don't know me, my name is Andrea Castagna. I'm from the European Network of Academic Sport Services. I'm sure that there are many familiar faces that know me already. But for those of you who don't know what's INAS, INAS is the European Network of Academic Sport Services. And it's essentially umbrella organization that includes quite a lot of members from all over Europe that are interested in university sports. And we really believe with this project that universities can really play a role to promote sustainability. But what's sustainability? Because we have different definition of sustainability. Well, academically speaking, sustainability is the balance between environment, society, and economy. And finding the right balance between those factors is essential. But higher education, and in particular universities, they can play a much bigger role to achieve sustainability, because I'm sure that you know from your daily job that you really work with these topics. You work with the environment, we work with society, you work with the economy, because you are preparing the future generations of workers. So I'm sure that every university present here can play a role in achieving sustainability. Why sustainability is important? Well, because we are moving towards more sustainable society. As you know, sustainability is a big topic nowadays in the European Union. The EU aims to have zero net emission by 2050, and 40% of European energy and counting is coming from sustainable and non-renewable. 40% are coming from non-renewable resources, which means that 60% comes from renewable resources and counting. And at the same time, I think that in the EU we are putting a lot of impact on recycling more, because we still produce quite a lot of not recycling waste. And this is, of course, bad for the environment, bad for the future generations, and bad because we don't ensure that our societies are sustainable. Now, again, why that matters for you? Because you work in university, we say that you have an important role to play, but why it's important? Well, because 78% of European universities have an integrated approach towards sustainability. So sustainability is important for university because in your universities, you decided that sustainability is important. And you are increasingly working towards achieving sustainability in the energy sector, but also in the sports sector, because sport is something that can really change society and change behaviors in a more sustainable way. And here comes our project, Green Campus. It's a project that we started 3 years ago. 3 years ago, my colleagues and I were in Dublin brainstorming and trying to come up with solutions, with ideas on how to make a project, on how to draft a project that could help universities to achieve what universities are planning to do in their own strategic environmental strategies. And what's the goal of the Green Campus? Well, we want to create positive patterns of changes in the university sector by promoting more sustainable lifestyle, aligning with sustainable development goals, and replicated, mapping and replicated actually, green campuses models across Europe. Because since 70% of you have strategies, it means that you might have good examples, good practices that can be replicated. Now, why this is important? Because data shows that, again, in the university, and more specifically in university sports, you can really provide, you can really create the patterns to behavioral changes in the university community through sport, physical activities, and anything related to it. So, of course, there are three main pillars you can work. One is energy. I think that as a sport manager, as a person I come from the sector as myself, we all know that energy is a very important topic. We are making our facilities, our gyms more and more energetic, sustainable. But at the same time, there are two other factors that can really, really help to change the behavioral patterns of students, staff, sport managers. And one is educational campaigns. So creating educational campaigns for sustainability is a great way to promote sustainability in the university sports sector. But how to create those campaigns, how to create, it's not enough to put some papers on the wall and say, oh, we are sustainable because here we say it's time for recycling. You should invest in yourself. You should invest in your own understanding, in your own personal development to become more and more sustainable, because there are opportunities to grow professionally and personally and learn more about sustainability, because at the end of the day, it will make your life easier. If you have the resources, if you have the knowledge to make your life easier, to implement your own strategies, well, half of your job is done. And here comes Green Campus, because Green Campus is a tailored project for university sports sectors that has as a target group essentially you. When we were discussing our projects, we were thinking about you, we were thinking about your own challenges, and we were thinking about how you can address those challenges. And of course, we have education models. We have a course that provides you with up-to-date knowledge development activities to engage more in sustainability. We have surveys that really focus on students and university communities. So in order to know more and collect more data, because research based should be always based on data. And of course, we have collaborative research activities that we have performed over the 3 years to help map and promote sustainable initiatives. Now, as I say, we have an online tool that is available for you all, free of charge, which you can engage, which you can do to and promote within your own staff to learn more about sustainability, and specifically sustainability in university sports sectors. We have research and mapping of good examples. Those can be accessed in our website and through an app that we develop to self-assess your sustainability strategies. And we have a seal that is probably the core of our project. Now, we want to have impact with this project. And again, I'm asking you to, when we finish today, this lovely meeting in the beautiful Peniche, to think about a bit more about sustainability and see what you can do. And if you think that you can do more, Green Campus is a free resource that it's there for you. We have, you can really benefit from the Green Campus by providing new and, let's say, up-to-date ways to promote sustainability in campus. And you can also enhance your team, your sport staff, to learn more about sustainability and to activate the communities that work across the university sports sector. And of course, we were also planning to, so those 3 years of works were intense. And we are planning even to scale up the project now. We are indeed part of the meeting that we had today with the consortium was to scale up the project. But in order to do that, we need to really provide more and more. We have to really engage with you because you are our target groups. Again, what's sustainability? I actually put this slide in the very first presentation I did 3 years ago about the Green Campus. And as I say, we have an academic definition about sustainability, which is the integration of the 3 elements I was describing before. But I think sustainability in the long term is the capacity of communities to engage in sustainable practices. And in order to do that, I think the Green Campus is the perfect way to do so because it's free of charge. It's targeted by university sport professionals for university sport professionals, and it is there to stay for at least 5 years for you to engage with this. Now, having said that, I will just show you the video of our project that explains much better in practice what I wanted to show you today. So, press. Technology. Yeah.
Welcome to Green Campus, the gateway to creating sustainable universities for a greener future. Explore our free online course tailored for campus managers, professors, and students. Discover how to make your campus more sustainable, reduce its carbon footprint, and inspire a culture of environmental responsibility. With engaging lessons and actionable tips, you'll gain the skills to drive real change on your campus and in your community. Universities leading the way in sustainability can also achieve the prestigious Green Campus label, demonstrating their commitment to building a better planet. The Green Campus project is coordinated by ENAS in collaboration with 5 distinguished European organizations and is co-funded by the European Union. Start your journey today. Follow us on social media for the latest updates. Welcome to Green.
Anyway, I'm skipping the last line, but if you have any questions or comments, please let me know. And I thank you for your attention. So.
Thank you, Andrea, for this inspiring presentation. Next, we'll dive into one of the project's key deliverables, the Green Campus online course. This innovative course empowers universities and their communities to implement sustainable practices effectively. Here to present this groundbreaking resource is Marcos from UNIC. Let's give a warm welcome to Marcos Flores.
Hi, everyone. Thank you for attending this presentation. I'm Marcos Lopez Flores. I'm a PhD in sports sciences, and I'm going to be presenting the online program today. First of all, I was a sport director at my university some years ago, not anymore because I'm working now at the European Network for Innovation and Knowledge, a foundation that is based in the Netherlands, and from where we activate different projects in research and development with European partners and basically with funding funds from the European Union. So I would like to start. How many of you are sport directors right now at the university, or if you are professors, just to know, because we are just a few, if to know your roles, if you can put your hand up if you are a sport director or a professor. Only 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. In physics or Yeah. No, physics. Yeah, yeah. By the way, it's not for your outfit. It's because we met in 2018 in Brussels in an event, and I still remember you. We were talking for for a long time. Yeah, yeah. I thought it was you, so now I'm sure. Yeah, I would like to now present the online program that we have. It's basically a short educational program of 4 hours for sport directors and professors at the university. So we are targeting this population, but the main objective of the program is try to raise awareness about the needs for introducing environmental sustainability at campus. Basically, what we are promoting is since we are using sports and other activities to promote sustainable development goals and basically a healthy lifestyle for our students, we could be using different strategies and implementing different activities also in a way in which we can introduce environmental sustainability measures into the sport activities and the events. And obviously, every time that we are organizing sport events, it doesn't matter if it's for our community or open to the society in general, we need to take into account all these environmental sustainability aspects. So again, it's an entry-level knowledge. You don't really need to have any previous education in the field of environmental sustainability or even in the field of sports, but obviously it's oriented to sport directors. It's an online and self-paced course. So maybe at your universities you are using or maybe not online tools for deploying online education. In this case, we don't have face-to-face activities. We don't have synchronous teaching. It's basically self-paced. The students can enroll in the online course for free, and they can do it on their own, at their own pace. They can start now, and they can end in 5 years if they want, because it will be open for that long. And it's free because it's funded by the European Union, obviously. It's designed for the community, so not only for the sport directors. We can try to invite our students in sports sciences. We can invite our students in engineer or in any other studies to participate in this, plus the staff members or other professors that would like to know more about the activities that we are doing through the sport, so using sport as a tool for promoting environmental sustainability, and how can they copy these strategies and try to bring them to their fields of studies or their activities. So it could be applied maybe, or they could see some links to other activities that they could be doing in cultural promotion or any other, and they could be interested in the course as well. And it's a certified course by the consortium. So at the end of the course, when they finish this 4 hours training, they will be receiving an online certificate that they will be able to download, and it will be certified by ENAS and all the partners in the consortium. Once again, it's free, it's open for everyone, and they will just need to enroll in sportacademy.com. Basically, the learning goals is to achieve, to get these new tools and resources to advance in sustainability on campus. So before it was mentioned that sustainability is usually understood as this combination of social, economical, and environmental impact. But just to put it in simple words for our students, I would say that is attending our actual needs without compromising the needs of the future generations. And this is something that we can promote as well from the field of sport and in any activity that we are deploying at the university. How can we make an event here at the beach of Peniche that could gather thousands of people, that could make a real impact in the community, but trying to generate a legacy for the town or for the region without compromising the environmental aspects of the beach and the surroundings, for example, or even the sea. Explore these innovative strategies for integrating sustainability in the campus life. And this comes with not only sports, but any other activity or, let's say, policy that we can establish. On our previous meeting, we were at Universidad Pablo de Olavide in Sevilla, and I was really surprised to see how they were managing the canteen at the university, because they have this great program in which every student can go there. They can obviously choose what they want to eat, but they will pay exactly for the size of the food that they are taking. So that's also a way of, for sure, reducing the, let's say, food that we are throwing away, but also to make this accessible for everyone. So if I have less money or if I have less resources, I can have a smaller meal or a small piece, and it makes this accessible for the community at campus and also for the neighbors and the citizens that could come to the campus and eat in this way. To learn to design eco-friendly and impactful campus sport events. So we will be sharing with you also best practices in this field, and we will be trying to show you some examples that, again, you can either mirror or copy or transfer to other, to different studies or different faculties or activities. Build connections between sustainability and physical activity and education, and develop effective stakeholder engagement and communication plans. So one of the things that we were struggling with this program is to see how difficult it is sometimes to engage universities, to engage sport directors, and to engage institutions in general to participate in this type of change. Obviously, it requires some efforts from the university sometimes in terms of budget, in terms of just actions that will be they will need to be taken, but it will pay back. It will pay back in terms of obviously financial resources. It will pay back in terms of recognition of the universities. When we are in this meeting and I'm still talking about the activities that they were doing in Sevilla or anywhere we go, and we can share what these universities are activating in terms of promotion of environmental sustainability. And obviously, it's something that more and more we see that the new generations are demanding. So it's something that they are really worried about, and sometimes it's just our lack of action for those that are in positions of decision making, those that are in the boards, that need to act and need to invest in this type of changes, so they can somehow put at risk their resources or their time, but they don't consider that probably the community that is more interested in the campus is the student. They are more and more conscious about how they consume their goods and services. They are eager to know more about what the universities are doing in this regard, and sports services are part of that and part of those plans. So we need to be active on this and understand the Green Campus label criteria and application process. So another thing that we are providing with this project, as my colleague Andrea Castaña was saying before, is that we launched this label that can support universities to make these first steps. So it's not something that will be final. Probably it's just an again, entry-level recognition for environmental sustainability, but at least it's something that you as sport directors or you as professors could be asking on your own. You don't need to know a lot of data or to get access to a lot of data from your university. You will not need to have the recognition of the board to apply for it. It will be just you first doing this self-assessment and then applying through the website, so you can understand how you are doing in terms of environmental sustainability. And from that, you can move to other labels, like FISU is doing with Healthy Campus, or any other label focused on environmental sustainability. And this will be a work in progress. But at least maybe this could be, you know, that trigger that at your university could help you to start working on these concepts. And this is how it looks in our website. So we are hosting the online course at sportacademy.com. This is a e-learning platform. Okay, the video is not working. Okay. No. I think not even like that. No problem. You go to sportacademy.com and basically it's an e-learning product that you can enroll there, or you can promote your students to enroll. We know how this is, so you can straightforward go to your class as they were doing in other universities and say, this is very interesting. If you give me the certificate and you prove that you have been doing this course, we will give you a couple of points more in the next exam, and for sure they will need that. We have hundreds of students that already completed the course. It's very short, it's engaging, it's friendly, because it's basically a combination of activities, text, quizzes, media, and different information that will help them as students. But again, as we said, the main stakeholder for our projects are the sport directors and the professors at the university, and this is just the entry level, so anyone can do it. Just go to greencampusproject.eu. Then you can enroll in the Green Campus course, or you can go to sportacademy.com and search for it, take the course and earn your certificate, and with that you will already have those first steps on environmental sustainability promotion through sport. Okay, thank you. Questions or no?
I don't know. You have any questions for Marcos? No? The coffee break.
Sorry, can you say again?
Languages.
So right now the course is available in English, and we are translating that also to Portuguese and to Spanish, and hopefully next year, early next year, we will be launching that in these languages. More?
Universities from other continents can apply, can do this.
Yeah. Anyone can apply and can participate in the course, and again, it's for free because it's funded by the European Union. More? No? Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Marcos, for the insights about the course. Now we'll learn more about the Green Campus label, an initiative designed to recognize and reward universities that are committed to sustainability. You already know who's coming to speak about this. It's Nuno Dias. Welcome, Nuno.
Thank you, Inês. Good afternoon to you all. So my name is Nuno Dias. I'm a project manager at Sport Evolution Alliance, and I'm also an eco athlete, and I will explain what it is. So in the eco athletes movement, we try to create awareness about climate change and try to explain, especially to athletes, that we need to take care of our planet. So in this project, Green Campus, we are trying to show that we must all row in the same direction. So the Green Campus label recognizes universities committed to sustainability and environmental practice. So by awarding universities with the Green Campus label, we want that those universities become examples of sustainability. We want to show that the universities are aligned with the sustainable development goals. Almost, I got it. And we are aligned with Agenda 2030. Okay, so we want to inspire universities, not the university alone, but all the campus, the students, the teachers, and create an awareness that sustainability is important. So, in order to get this label, you need to visit the Green Campus website, as Marcos was saying before. By accessing the website, we will find the link to the application. After, you need to review the Green Campus standards, you need to understand the steps, and then you can begin the application. After you submit the application, you will get an answer from us, and it will be based on the following aspects. There are three main areas of evaluation. First one, Green Campus management. Second one, physical activity and sport encouraging. I just submitted an article about the correlation between physical activity and active commuting. So people that are more active, they choose a more sustainable way of moving and of commuting. So everything is related. If in campus we promote a sustainable and a healthy lifestyle, students probably will adhere, and they will also be more healthy and aligned with the Sustainable Development Goals. The third step is nature, environment, and sustainability. Each one of them has the point criteria, and the maximum is 10 points. So, in order to receive the certified gold, that's our main purpose, that universities get the gold, you need to have a score between 26 and 30 on those criteria that I explained previous. In order to get the silver certification, a score between 16 and 25, and the bronze, a score between 10 and 15. So, for us, it's important that the universities get this label because, as I was saying before, we want them to serve as an example for other universities. So if they show that they are doing, they are being more sustainable and they are promoting a more healthy lifestyles in campus, and this is aligned with the Sustainable Development Goals, it's important, and maybe other universities will follow the same path. So this is very important. Thank you. That was the presentation of the label. If you have any question.
Once university applies to the label, and they receive an email from the project partner, what's the next steps for the organization? So what do they do with that?
So they will get the information, first of all, about the score. They have the score about the information, right? Between what, if you receive gold, that's the main goal, you get the score. So they can talk with the consortium, and we can explain everything for to follow the next steps. I don't know if I answered your question or.
Regarding the label, how they can promote and communicate that.
Communicating it through.
Their own social media.
Okay, I understand now. Sorry. So for us, it's important that they really communicate about this label, because I was saying they need to show that they have received a label, and for us, it's important that they are awarded with this, because this will show other universities that they can also get a label, and then if they promote it through their social media, they will influence all the population involving the universities. So,
does that relate to Green Campus also? Or?
Everything is related with Green Campus. As I was saying, I submitted an article recently because I'm a PhD student, and I studied a term called physical literacy. So, physical literacy is not only about being physical active, it's more related to be physical active through your entire life. And this should be nurtured between the day you born until the day you die. You need to understand, if you are physical active, you will be more autonomous when you get older. Why I'm saying this? Because the study shows, and many studies shows, if you are more physical active, you choose a better way of commute. So you use a more sustainable way of commute. So in Eco Athletes, because athletes, they have a platform, we want to show to the fans that they should be more sustainable, and they should choose a more healthy lifestyle, like being physical active, and be more aware about the climate. It was an organization founded in the United States, and it has athletes from all over the world. And the goal is to promote, again, aware about the importance of sustainability. Most of the athletes, they are university students, because athletes but don't play football. Most of the athletes, they do a thing called a dual career. They study and they do the sport. So they are a very important message in this case for Green Campus. Okay. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Nuno, for highlighting the importance of the Green Campus label and to promote the Eco Athletes movement. He's the only Portuguese athlete in the movement. So I think it's very important when Nuno speaks about this, that people know that he's the only one in Portugal that is part of this international movement. So our first roundtable of the day will explore the topic Healthy Campus as a tool for sustainability. This discussion will focus on how healthy campus initiatives can drive meaningful sustainability efforts in higher education. I'm honored to introduce our moderator, Ivo Carvalhosa from FISU, who will lead this discussion. And welcome, Ivo. To join Ivo, we will have Susana Mendes from the Polytechnic University of Leiria. We will welcome back Marcos Lopes Flores from UNIC, and we will have África Calvo Luch. Did I say it right? Hopefully. From Universidad Pablo de Olavid. So, Ivo, the floor is yours. Thank you.
Thank you, Ines, and good afternoon, everybody. First of all, I would like to thank our hosts in this institution that was friendly enough to host this seminar during their conference, which is really positive for us, helped us a lot, promote the label, promote this program that is really necessary for all institutions across the world, not across Europe. Secondly, I would like to thank the previous speakers, Marcus, Andrea, Nuno, that mentioned globally what the program is about, what is our goal, what is our intent. And now I would like to have a relaxed, more informal conversation with our panelists. Professor Susana, thank you for being here. Professor África Calvo, thank you for being here. And Professor Marcus, again, to be in the stage again, thank you for being here. I would like to make some questions, and the floor is open. If someone in the stands or in the audience have some questions, is someone online have some questions too? I don't know if we have a lot of followers online, but maybe they have. If they have questions, please intervene. I will start with the first question, and I will begin from this side and finish with Marcus. And so the first question would be, in your perspective, how you think that the sustainable university campus can be described? Because as Andrea mentioned, there's many sustainability definitions. So I would like to have your feeling about it, and because it may differ from the main society description of what is sustainability. Please.
Thank you for the opportunity to share these themes with all of. I think that society has a different definition of sustainable that we have, because society think in more instant results, and think about waste reduction, water consumption, and here we have. We need to communicate better that sustainable is a long process that many times don't result in a short time results. So we have a bigger responsibility in this, because society I think sustainably only about the waste, the water consumption, the impact, the climate impact changes, and sustainable is social, economic, mental sustainability, a lot of the three important pillars of sustainable economics, social, education, and it's we have responsibility to communicate better these pillars of sustainable.
Thank you very much, Susana. Well, sorry, my English isn't very good. I apologize for that. And thank you very much for the organization, to the university on this place is marvelous for me. It was a discover, incredible for me. I want to return to have holidays here. Thank you very much for the place. Thank you very much. Well, for me, or my opinion, a sustainable university campus is one that becomes a promoter two important things for us, the health and the respect to environment. These two parts, the respect to the environment, is we translate this content to sustainability. And these two areas, sustainability and health, are areas that are complementaries. Complementaries and I don't know what is the first, health to sustainability or sustainability to health. It's very complicated to circumscribe, to put in order these two parts, and I think we need to search and to research more than sustainability to arrive to health, or the other side. Okay, I put that in this moment, and I stop because I can explain more after.
So I would say that the university has an amazing role in promoting environmental sustainability and sustainability in general. So all the sustainable development goals and the actions related to these goals, the 200 something missions or indicators that we cannot get to remember, none of us probably, but the mission of the university is much greater than what the society expects from us, as our colleague was saying now. And I always remember this book that is exactly called La Misión de la Universidad, or The Mission of the University, by Ortega y Gasset, one of our greatest philosophers and Nobel Prize winner in Spain. And he envisioned the university as a center for knowledge, but as a driver for the social change and the building of a good society and the citizens. And I would say that there is not a better place than the university to promote sustainability and to make the next generation of researchers, professionals, entrepreneurs, even politicians that could drive the society being respectful with sustainability.
Thank you for sharing this, and I must agree, everybody made the real point about it. And following on your statements, I would like to ask you as well, and regarding your experience and your roles in university and former roles in universities, what will be the first approach you would take now to implement a strategical plan regarding sustainability in campus? What would be the first step, the first approach?
Engage the students, the professors, and all staff. It's crucial to develop a plan. And I insist, the communication, what we do, how we do, what is the projects, the metrics of the things we do. For example, here, it's underway now. We are conducting an audit to the students, asking what things they think about sustainable here in campus. What can we improve? What are the things that we are fail? And I think this very important aspect to involve the students in the process. because if they need if they feel the necessary the things the problems they involve in the all our goals in terms of sustainable. And for example, we have the project Escolas, and that project involves students, staff and professors, and we have a plan on the activities with the main objective to concretize with the sustainable goals. And these two things, the project Escolas and all the other projects involving the students and the staff and the professors, are very important to the big step for university with this kind of objectives.
Well, I agree with my college, but I go to put one more thing in that, because consider the government teams that health promotion and sustainability leads universities towards excellent in teaching and research. For me, it's very important the highest position at the university, president, rector. That's I don't know what's the exact term here, but it's very complicated to involve and to engage these people in this project. And this is the first approach and the first part and the most important part in this question for me. The second step, or the second part for me, is recognize the SDG, the Sustainable Development Goals, inside the 2030 agenda. If we recognize and analyze all the SDGs, we can improve one more much better system of sustainability. And the third step for us is to integrate the sustainability inside the strategic plan of the university, because it's very important to put in a paper what is our goals in this part, in sustainability. The first part, the boss, to convince the boss. The second part, to identify the SDGs. And the third part, put in the paper the strategic plan about that.
Agreeing with my colleagues, I would like to extend it to the once again the community in general. So it's not only the community that comes to the campus, but the society in general. And if we want the university to be a focal point for promoting sustainability in the society, we will need to work also with the companies, we will need to consult with the municipalities, we will need to talk with the neighbors and with the NGOs that are in our same environment. And I would like to include them also in that process, because they need, if we want them to understand that the mission of the university is greater than what they think, and that sustainability is one of the priorities in the mission of the university, then they need to be included from the beginning in design, and we need to understand better their needs and the vision that they have, and see how they can be helped, and for them to understand that when they ask us to participate, when they come to us asking for consultation by the research groups or by the professors in general, they will have that. And we are, at least in many universities in Europe, and probably is the case for Spain in particular, we are usually failing on doing this knowledge transfer to the society. And sustainability is also an opportunity to work together with the social agents in general.
Thank you so much. I think I have a few questions later on regarding this specific topic, and thank you for engaging on that one already. And following up on what each one of you said, all of you agreed that the community must be more involved. And my next question is exactly that, and how can we engage more our community. And by community, I mean students, staff, professors, everybody here in this room, but everybody else that is not in this room, the community around the universities, because universities usually are in the center of a city or the smaller cities, but they are in the center. So they need to be more engaged with others. So what would be the first or the better way to engage each of those stakeholders?
Clear messages and better transparency, better communication with all the community to see what we do and the metrics. Measure all the things that we do. It's the best way, I think, because I'm from mathematics, but measures all the things. It's the better way for the people, that for the community to see the results. And I think also a co-creation opportunities for all, with the students involved, professors, staff, but also open to the community. Pilot projects that we have, for example, here in school, but not close to the people of the school, also open to the whole city, but it's not easy because many times the community thinks that all the things that we do, it's for us, only for us. But I think the communication, better communication and presenting reports with measures are the one way to develop and to approach the community.
Well, I think before to do this transfer to the community, we must to analyze as what the strengths, weakness, threats and opportunities. When we analyze this part, we can do action, and you can play the transfer of the knowledge to the community. And well, before we must to study to identify this part, this word, and after we can activate.
I don't know. I would say that the main thing is communication for sure, because there is a big gap between the social agents and the university in general. I would say that policymakers should invite the university to participate more in drafting these policies that affect the social agents and the society in general, companies, and any development that we can think of. And the other way around, because sometimes even when for most of the countries, universities should have these people also integrated in the social boards of the universities, in the council, if they have one. In many cases, they are underrepresented. So maybe when we go to these boards, we see one person from the Chamber of Commerce representing all the companies, or one person from the municipality representing all the social agents and the public sector in general, and we can make that bigger, then generate an opportunity for discussion, and let's say open the university, as it was said before, but inviting them to come here to participate and for us to go there and to communicate and advocate.
Thank you so much. So yes, I want to just to resume on that. I would like to say that I agree totally with what everyone said, and if I must reinforce the feeling and the experience I have from dealing with in many universities across my career, there's definitely a closed environment between universities in general and the communities and the scientific researchers. Probably they focus on their studies and they don't go and practice on field and communicate directly with their surroundings, and it's a shame, but because everybody could gain on that. But maybe it's an opportunity to what is not good can be improved better. That's a good thing. So my next question would be, I will just ask you about the general climate crisis that it's clearly coming, and we are speaking about sustainability. I just wanted to know your gut feeling about the future, about this climate crisis, and what you think we should do together as a society to try to prevent as much as possible this problematic.
I think we involve the youngers because they are more sensitive to this question, and increase the public understanding of this problem, because the problem is much more bigger than the society knows. And it is important to promote and to inform the campus, but all the community, that one single action that we do can have a great impact in the climate changes. And if one of us make one action, it's many actions that better combat will mitigate these aspects of climate impact. It's very difficult to have a solution for this. I think we have to take little steps, many but little steps, with a realistic vision and realistic goals. But if we communicate clearer what is the problems that we have with this climate crisis, with clear information, with clear actions, little but many, I think we can do it something to combat these climate changes. The time to act is now.
Well, the reality is already here. It's in present. We must do. I remember now 1 month ago in Valencia, in the east coast in Spain, the biggest tragedy, 222 people death with the problem with the change climate. And I remember now, maybe 6-7 years ago here in Leira, the fires. Do you remember? The situation is here. We can see each day and each year, and with a lot of tragedies. And for me, it's very important. I think there is two positions: the big action and the little action. The little action are each one of us. I don't want to consume plastic. I don't want to take my car to go to work. It's a little actions, and we can change. Not now, because we can go after. The climate, the disaster climate is here, and we need to don't break more our planet, because we don't have a plan B, you know. And the biggest actions is action from the governments and action from the big countries. But this part is impossible to speak with me for me, because I can speak with the president of China and say, please stop the energies, atomic energies, or with Trump and say, please stop. It's impossible for me. But I think we have an individual responsibility about that, each one. Good luck.
To all of us. I would say that this change would come with sacrifice, and we need to think if we are really willing to make a sacrifice. And it's something that maybe can be compared somehow to the COVID-19 pandemic. Well, we were all locked down or we had social distancing and we stopped doing many activities and enjoying life in general. And for sure, this is a crisis that will change our way of life again, and maybe for many years. And when we were saying before that this is about covering our needs in such a way that we are not compromising the needs of the future generations, obviously we need to understand what is a need and what is just, too much that we are enjoying in our freedoms, no? And I'm not a good example of this, for sure. I travel a lot. I have a big carbon footprint on my back, and I know it. And there are many organizations that are already working with carbon credits, and they are cutting down their trips and the way that they commute and other aspects, and we are not doing that, and we should. But the thing is that it will come to be imposed by regulation sooner than later, and something that we can do as individuals is also to think, okay, maybe we cannot talk with Trump or any other decision maker, but we can stop buying certain things and consuming certain goods that we know that are contributing to that. Maybe we need to reflect on the sacrifice that we are not doing.
Thank you. Even though it sounds a bit depressing, but it's the sad reality. But you are on a good track, Marcos. At least you recognize your mistake. It's the first good step. That's important. So my next question, and I would mention again what was already mentioned by Nuno, the 17 Sustainable Development Goals from UN. It's a methodology to try to put back in track the planet that UN brought together. And I would like to know what your perspective about the higher education institutions are doing it, are implementing it, more or less, could do better. Just give me your general perspective.
Thank you. I think we have to put these goals in the curricula. If we put the goals in the curricula in our coursework, it's the best way to improve the knowledge about these goals. For example, last year with my colleague Roberto, he made works with their students. I don't know if we have opportunity, only if Roberto can explain a work with about water and electricity, and to alert for the goals related to the water, to the electricity, and it was a work that Roberto always do in these classes. It's a little explained.
Just quickly. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, sorry, it was not. Okay, thank you. It was not rehearsed. Okay, so it was a challenge from Susanna within this Eco Schools project. So I teach physics, so it was mentioned, yeah. And well, in physics we measure. So the advice would be each student would have to go into their energy meter or water meter and register the numbers, and 2 weeks later register again. And they would have to divide for the number of people that were in the house. And okay, that was the baseline. So they would have 2 weeks to consider what kind of real concrete challenges they could make with the family, with the team guys in the house, and they would try to implement it, and they would measure at the end of the semester again. So trying to see if there was some kind of decrease, if they spend a little bit less time in the shower, if they use a little bit less water, or if they use a little bit less energy. Of course, this has a lot of problems because the weather changes, the need for energy changes, so it's just a small step, as you were mentioning. But it's different. You see, you have to reduce your water consumption, or you know that you are spending these kind of liters on your shower? It's not an average. This is your shower or your house energy. And this is, well, raising the awareness, as it was said. So don't take too much time.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
The professor says very good, and I pass word because, well, chapeau.
Integrating it in the activities of the university with the students, integrating that in the curriculum, as it was said before, and maybe being more demanding with the students when they are doing their plans, or when they are starting maybe their entrepreneurship programs from the university, to be compliant somehow with some of the SDGs. They don't need to work on everything, obviously, and sometimes it's not even needed, depending on the country, so adapting to their needs, but taking into account how they can, let's say, approach their plans from this perspective. If they are working in sports sciences and they are launching an activity, how they can be more inclusive. Do they have as many women in the board as they should? If they are launching a company, how they are going to be environmentally sustainable? Are they measuring their carbon footprint, and so on? And this is something that we, as professors, can be asking them, can be somehow forcing them to do as part of the activities, so they get more and more aware of the situation and what is coming. Because again, I'm trying to promote as much as possible that this is something that will happen no matter what, that everyone, any company will go to the bank asking for financial support, and they will be asking them, what's your carbon footprint this year, how many credits do you have, or how are you working, no? And it will be good, but at the same time will be demanding, and they will be all affected.
Thank you so much. So, in general, everybody must be responsible for their own actions, and then be confronted with that. So, be careful, guys. So, next question would be, in general, you think universities could bridge more the gap that is, because the universities have clearly the role to nourish brains of students, of all the community in general. And my question would be, if they could help more the local community, for example, municipalities around the university, how can the researchers be more focused on the local problematics, not focusing maybe in too theoretical problems, but more practical problems from the local community? Let's say in Peniche there's a specific issue, maybe the researchers could focus on that instead of trying to solve a problem from the end of Amazon river. What you're thinking about this perspective?
It's more or less that the things that we talk in the question 2 or 3. Yes, it is important to focus in the local problems. For example, here we are near the ocean, so I think that we have to promote actions related to the sea, to the problems of the plastic in the sea, and problems that people, that communities see that we are solve this problem. We have solutions for their problem. Because if in that way they see immediate results. They are not immediate, but the people see as a immediate. So I think, yes, we have to focus on the here in in our cases, in the sea, in the sustainable of tourism, for example, because school have many courses about in this area, so, and also it's I think it's general for all of us, the problem of the food waste, and we can do little things to promote the reduction of food waste, And here it's very easy to develop workshops or the conference or events promoting the reduction of food waste. For example, in our coffee break, you can do your own sandwich. And in that way we can reduce the waste that we produce in this kind of coffee breaks, and this is only an example.
Well, we have a weapon, very interesting weapon is the physical activity. You can change the brain of your students through the physical activity. For example, it's important to promote come to the university by foot, by feet, or come here by bike, or don't use the car, don't use the motorbike. If you go to the country to walk around, please take a bag and take with you one part of the rubbish there. For example, things like this could be print in the brain of your students. If we can to convince only 10% of our students, this 10% is a lot of people in the world, and we can not change, but to delay the problem with the nature, with the country, in the countries, and our students are really important. We must to speak and to convince our students about that, because I think it will be very interesting. Little actions produce big actions.
So, on top of what I mentioned before about cooperation between universities and the municipalities or the society in general, I would say that, and I don't want to look like I try to fix everything with regulation, but I would say that it's very important that we take this into account when we are drafting the tenure track regulation for professors at the university and for institutional recognition as well. If what the government is asking us as researchers is to have as many papers published as possible in journal citation report indexed journals, we will have that. If what they are asking us is to have contracts with municipalities, transfer knowledge, work with the communities and develop projects that are evidence-based, we will do it. So I think it's also a matter of how the tenure track of the academicians is drafted. We had one experience in Spain, I think it was 2 or 3 years ago, you can correct me if I'm wrong, with the Sexennium. So basically the government launched this opportunity for researchers to apply for Sexennium recognition in knowledge transfer. So it was not about how many years you have been teaching at the university or researching, and you were not evaluated on that. They were evaluating how many contracts have you participated in with business, with municipalities, anyone. How much did you transfer? And that was one experience. Then they stopped it, they cut it. We never knew anything else about that. So if the government is promoting that on a daily basis, I mean, if they are really giving us funding to do so, if sustainability is the context, and if the academicians find recognition through this, everyone will jump into this opportunity. They will do as much as possible to do science, but at the same time working with projects with municipality and with the social agents.
I think the word is awareness.
And thank you for sharing your thoughts with us. Thank you for your time. My team in my earpod is telling me that we have to cut. The live stream is out of the line anymore. So thank you again. A round of applause to our panel. Thank you.
I want to invite you to go to the bins, the place where we have the compost bins, to see how we are doing the process to reduce the waste, if you want. It's in the first floor, in the 0. Okay.
You have 15 minutes for that and for the coffee break, because we'll be back in 15 minutes, okay? Thank you. Back, everyone. Our next session focuses on an important question. How can sport university services become more sustainable? This discussion will provide practical strategies and share best practices from experienced professionals in the field. I'm pleased to introduce our moderator, Fernando Parente, from FISU, who will lead the discussion. Joining Fernando are our distinguished panelists, Rui Matos, Bruno Almeida, and Tiago Fernandes, who is the coordinator of Healthy Campus from Polytechnic of Leiria. Bruno is from the Universidade do Porto and president of the Portuguese Association of University Sports Services. And Tiago is the Secretary General of ENAS. I need to say ENAS. Inês. Mas é muito parecido com a Inês.
Please take your seat. Thank you, Ines. It's working, correct? Well, small but impressive CV from our panelists here, so a lot of experience, but more than that, we know that you are doing an excellent work in your universities, and special related with sports services. How can we have sports services at the higher education institutions more sustainable and efficient? And we will discuss here. I have five main questions related to the institutional commitment to resources management, global collaboration, community involvement, and inclusion and accessibility. I will lead this panel, making some questions, and if some questions came also from the audience, we'll be open to give you the floor if you need it, of course. So maybe I will start with Rui, that is playing at home. So I will start to ask you, in your opinion, how can leaders of higher education institutions and their governance structures prioritize and integrate sustainability into sports services? So, and what the role do policies play in driving this agenda? Give us your opinion, please, and then you can pass the microphone to Tiago Fernandes and then to Bruno Almeida. Rui.
Good afternoon, everyone. Is this working? Yes? They're hearing me. Okay. I would say, well, you have to ask the ones that decide, but he was here, my president. We could have asked him. He would say something about it. Now, seriously. Of course, if our governors don't understand the role that sport plays, it's difficult. And when they are preparing their intervention, where they are preparing their strategic plans, that is something that has to be think of. And when we entered the project of Healthy Campus had almost just the name Healthy Campus in the project, and we had to show that it had to be more salient, more evident, the role that sport might play. So if we don't understand the paper that the role that sport can play, it's not easy to put it as something that has to come, I wouldn't say in first, but as something important to be present. And then the second thing is that besides results, because that is something that normally the ones that are on the top of the organizations want to hear of. What was the place where we stayed? Did we win, etc.? Sometimes, or most of the times, maybe that concern with sustainability is something that is not present. And in the previous panel, the panelists were asked what they understood by sustainability. And in Portuguese, I could remember two words that come from sustainability, maybe in English the same. In Portuguese, you have sustentar e suster. They don't mean the same, but sustentar is to sustain something that has to be cared of, because if not, it will fall. That is the idea that we can do it now, but keep doing it in the future. And the sustain also as a break. So we have to do things, but not in a way that we will deploy all the possibilities that it has. I think those are two commitments that the organization have to have in mind. What are we going to do? How can we keep doing this? And also, one last thing, how can we do this with more people? The issue of the adapted physical education or adapted sport was something that was not present at all. And when it was present in institutions, yeah, I'm talking about mine, it was not on the sport domain, on the physical activity domain. Now it is, as you can see in those boards that are passing there, and some activities in other rooms, and we want to keep doing it. And I think they should keep supporting it.
Well, first of all, thank you for the invitation. It's a great pleasure to be here. Well, Fernando, I can think of 4 good examples for how our leaders, the leaders of higher institutions, higher education institutions, to show that sustainability is really a priority. First of all, I think that sustainability has to be a core element of a university's mission. So this has to be a top-to-bottom approach. So this must be defined in the university's mission with specific sustainable goals and milestones, and the sports departments like ours must be a part of it. But it cannot start in sports departments. It has to be in the university's mission. Second, we need dedicated budget, because if, like the Americans say, put your money where your mouth is. So if it is a priority, we need the money, and this is something that, like to update our infrastructures, to participate in green projects, green initiatives, we need dedicated budget for that. Another thing, and this is something that I think the majority of the universities already have, is a sustainable office. Dedicated human resources that ensure that the policies are being followed, that they can oversee the efforts across the campus and provide specific training for all the community. And one other thing that I think it's not very, I don't know if this is already applied in some of your institutions, but it's to incorporate sustainability into job roles. How many of your job descriptions include sustainability, like objectives, or in your evaluation, do you have goals, like specific sustainability goals to measure the impact of these measures? So these are like for good for things that I can remember to our leaders, to show that sustainability is really a priority in higher education institutions. Then of course we need the specific policies for the sports departments, mandatory standards, like introduce policies that require our sports facilities to meet specific sustainable certifications, for example, or procurement guidelines to purchase durable green equipment and materials, sustainable event protocols to organize and to host low impact events. And one thing that we discussed in the last INES forum earlier this month, in a different approach, but it is to engage students in governance, because this gives us a different perspective, and this ensures that our policies are meeting the needs that our community, and students are a big part of our community, and to ensure that these policies meet their expectations. So I will stop now. I'll pass the mic to Bruno.
No, I don't have nothing to say. I believe you will read everything. So
I have some notes. Yeah.
Thanks a lot for the invitation. My colleagues already said everything. One time when I went to Seoul in South Korea, I saw in the garden saying a word, they saying, democracy, it's not free. And I say, sport, it's not free, in my opinion also. Each time that we want to, in our sports service or wherever, we would like to develop some programs, it's not free. Sometimes somebody have to pay something. Human resources, everything. And I believe that normally the people, especially here in Portugal, we know that, think that everybody have to make sports but free. No, it's not like that. Somebody have to pay. Could be the university, could be the government, but somebody have to have money to have the facilities in well shape and everything. So I think it's very, very important, even for our community, understand that it's not all the okay, it's good for our health and everything, okay, but it must be financial sustainable, of course. Otherwise, it's not will work. But look, it's not a problem if we put our children's in the musician and we pay 40 or 50, it doesn't matter. But if it is for sports, everybody complain about the 20 or 25 euros and they go there. This is a thing that I believe we must change also. That we look for the value of the sports and the real value that we could provide. So in this matter, all the things that they say is correct. This is the financial part that I would like to reinforce. That actually the things must be sustainable in a lot of levels, but in the financial area, if that is not put in the correct level, you can do that. And of course, in the universities, it must be in the strategic plan of the university. I don't have any doubt of that. If the sports or the physical activity or the health care is not in the strategic plan of the university, it's not Bruno, Tiago or Rui that push the things, and no. And it's that.
Great. So we need to have a good institutional commitment from the leadership of the university to have better programs and to increase what we need to do regarding the promotion of physical activity and all what is related about mainly the maintenance and the sustainability of the sport services and in general the university. So, and regarding the resources management, now I will start with Bruno. What strategy can be employed to optimize the use of resources, water, energy, equipment in sports facilities, maintaining, of course, the satisfaction of the users of the services and the facilities? What for sure you are concerned about these. What kind of strategies do you use to control this situation?
Look, I believe that we must use all the energy resources that we have, the sun, everything, and if we could have solar panels, all that kind of thing, it's good for our to support the energy. But of course we must educate our users also. If you have a user like João said, that had a user that have a shower for 2 hours, it's not possible to have to be sustainable. And okay, so we must also educate. I believe this is the word. I don't know if you already go to around here and you saw in a lots of papers around the walls, but all the papers say that's a care of sustainability. Yesterday I've been in Orense, Universidade of Vigo in Orense, and they had inside the WCs they have a lots of things saying, you know, that if you push the water, it's 5 liters that you spend. So that kind of things, I believe it will be good that we could communicate better, educate. I believe so. Of course, we must also, when we organize some activities, we must have to be aware of that. But I'm going to give you an example that it's a little bit contradictory. If you organize a trail, or not a trail, a running course of 10 kilometers, you have to give water to the. If you go for a company of water, they give you 1 million of bottles of water for free. Plastic water. They give you. And what we decide, we don't accept that, or we buy another more sustainable. That is a problem even for the organizers, because they give us for free the water. But if you don't accept that, you have to give water to them. So we will fill some bottles. What you do, you buy new bottles. Sometimes even to the events, to the sports events, it's not so easy to do that. Of course, when we organize our events now, for example, the summer camps that we organize for kids, we don't give us bottles of water anymore. We give us a recipient, and they go there and fill the waters in our. Because the water in Portugal is very, very good. 98% of the water in all our regions is very good, and we do that. But it's not easy. Okay.
Thank you, Bruno. And I totally agree with Bruno. We need to keep. I really think that education, training, and awareness is the main thing. So we need to keep promoting like workshops like these to promote green behaviors and promote in our campus, in our universities, the green transportation, promote carpooling, biking, walking, install electric chargers for vehicles also in campus, awareness campaigns, use signage and infographics to remind everyone across campus about the green behaviors, and also how do I say it? Dashboards to remember our users. Something like this year we already saved this amount of energy. We already saved this amount of water. So these are information for our users that make them feel aware, make them feel they are part of something, and this gives you like a sense of good feeling to be part of that you are already doing something that is good for the environment. And then of course in the sports facilities there are a lot of things that can be done nowadays with the technology in like smart systems management with AI driven systems. There are a lot of things that can be done in HVAC systems, for example. In energy we can install panels in our rooftops. There are a lot of things. Maybe I will share the mic with Rui so he can develop a little bit more on this.
Thank you, Jeff. Don't want to be repetitive, but education, yes, the same problem always. I will repeat. So I will talk about education in first place, education in general terms. Which means involving the use of the users of the spaces, etc. So they have to know what they can do differently, so they can save some resources, and in the very practical way, for instance, the option for LED lighting, preferably with flux regulation. We are doing that as a complement to natural lighting, also presence sensors if possible. The use of energy production solutions for self-consumption, such as photovoltaic panels, as Tiago was saying, and taking advantage of the surplus energy that is generated this way to hit the baths, so water accumulators as batteries. The option for timed system for baths, of course, they can click it again, but it's a way, like in swimming pools, almost all of them have now that system, and we are doing this. So these are some of the examples that things that we are doing, or also the option for passive ventilation systems instead of the use of machines to ventilate it whenever possible, and also equipment with high energy and water efficiency, with a long useful life and low maintenance. And then about education, putting slogans in places like Tiago was saying. For instance, something we could do. Do you know that, this is interesting, at the 2022 Winter Olympics, 100 of the snow had to be artificially generated, for instance. Every year, 300 million tennis balls are produced worldwide. 300 million. And they last for 400 years now, after they are wasted to go and to decompose. Or to manufacture a simple cotton t-shirt, that all we use in sport, approximately 2,700 liters of water are needed, an amount equivalent to the average water consumption of a person for 2.5 years. So these are some ideas that can be written. And then from this maybe somehow far from them, and then message more close to the people, to the students, to the persons, like you said, that you can read it in those different places.
We are trying to reduce our impact that we have in the sports center, and nowadays more than 72% of our users use an app that we have to get in the facility. Don't have cards and nothing of that. So that is a good thing that we could also made in our, because our users are quite new, so they are completely digital. So nowadays in the sports center we have an app, and everybody can get in, can make a reservation, can book a class of fitness or judo or wherever, and don't need to sign papers, don't need to take. That is a good thing that we could also made.
That's really interesting, having evidences and counting. I can tell you a small story about my experience, 25 years as a sport director, and we are counting. We knew what was the price of a shower per person. And we can use those data not only because of sustainability process, but also from an economical reason. And we knew at that time, if we cut 5 seconds of each shower, it represents thousands of euros in the end of the year. With we had more than 1 million of entrances in the sports facilities, and it's a huge amount of money. Of course, people must have a very good shower. We must promote also the satisfaction, but we can always improve what we are doing. Regarding the global collaboration or cooperation, those kind of programs, Green Campus and Healthy Campus, how do you think that you can use this kind of programs to learn or to improve what we are doing here in your universities? I start with Rui now, or you. It's you. It's me? Yeah.
Okay. No, global collaboration is great. It offers the opportunity to share knowledge, to align with the best practices, and essentially to rethink and to adapt our own strategy and to make it like more global. And these kind of programs like Green Campus or FISU's Healthy Campus, it gives us the opportunity to benchmark sustainability efforts, to engage in partnerships, host joint events, or even research programs, access guides, toolkits, certifications, and also, and very important, funding opportunities like Erasmus Plus projects. So I really believe that this global collaboration, especially in these kind of programs like Green Campus and Healthy Campus, are really important for our universities. Bruno, Rui?
Mais perto. Quer dizer, estou à mesma distância, né? Well, No, no. Well, as the coordinator of the Healthy Campus program here in Leiria, of course, I must say that it was something very, very important when it came to us. Because, as I always say from the first day I began coordinating the program, it was not the case that we were not doing some of the things that FISU required us to do in the Healthy Campus. But maybe we didn't have a good conscience of it. And the challenge was to pass the message to all the community. And the community, our community, is big. We are in Peniche, not in Leiria now, but Leiria, Peniche, Caldas da Rainha, well, a lot of places. And it's not easy to pass the message. But FISU program, Healthy Campus, and now Green Campus also, gave us the opportunity to focus our intervention. We were doing a lot of things, but not with something that could make us think of as a target. And as Tiago also said, there was a possibility to make benchmark. For instance, the book of the best practices allow us to show, oh, they are doing this, well, we could do this there. Yeah, it's easy to do, I think. Good idea. So, of course, these programs are important for us to evaluate ourselves, to share practices, and of course to get more conscious of these issues that we should overtake when they are not present.
Besides all that, they say that it's, of course, it's very important. It's very important when we have that exchange of experience, because we learn a lot of the things that we could do, but also the things that we can't do. That is also important. Sometimes we believe that our sports service or our institution or our organization is in very bad conditions. We don't work well, and when we realize that even in the countries or in the universities or organizations that we believe that are in more higher level, sometimes we are not so bad than we think so, because we all of us, in my opinion, do very good things in our institutions. So we have to learn, of course, with the things that we must apply, and we must catch some good examples and try to adapt, not copy, to adapt. But also we could sometimes look and say, we can't do that. It's better that we don't do that, because it's not also the good things, but even the worst things that we could to look. And of course, in our global world that we live, that it's extremely important that we share experience. And the good thing in the Healthy Campus and even in the Green Campus projects, in my opinion, and I hope that the teachers here don't, it's not an academic program. This is important. Could be and could use to have papers, but the most important thing, in my opinion, in the level that we are of decision, is that it's a program that you could really operate in the university or in the institution. This is very good. It's not academic that you read some papers. No. You could use that and apply and not apply, to put in progress in your institution. It's the most important, in my opinion, that's to put all the organization moving on. Okay.
Well, maybe we could integrate all these issues in academical areas in the curricula of the different courses. For example, we knew I think it was last week, news that almost 30 universities from medical schools from different universities, they integrate in the curricula climate and sustainability issues as compulsory in medical schools. So maybe this question of sustainability and through sport mainly could be also integrated in the curricula. But the question is also related with that. In your opinion, now I will start with Rui. I give the orders, okay? How can university sport services involve students, the academic and even local community, promoting a culture of sustainability through sport? It could be compulsory or not.
Compulsory normally results at a very short period, and then it goes out when the stimulus is off. I prefer co-creation. Example, doing with the students, not just doing for the students. For instance, the idea of making track and the plugging that you all know, right? Picking up the garbage. It's something very easy. I wouldn't say everybody does, but it's a very easy practice to do. Campaigns choose environmentally friendly hygiene programs. For instance, talking about that on classes. That is something that is never. I think it's not never done. We are more focused, as Fernando was saying, on teaching the core issues of our subjects, and we forget this a little, or not forget. We don't even think of this. We think that this is something that doesn't need to be taught in classes, but maybe it must. It should, because teacher is still is a very good example, good or bad, depends how the teacher acts. But normally is an example, and a very important peer for students to go along. So I would say that making projects in common, practical projects. Students, I think that never enjoyed a lot very theoretical projects. Of course, they are needed, but in nowadays that is more prevalent. I would say that people should do things more practically. Let's go to the outside, let's make things, and then come again to the room and discuss it. They like that, and the examples are very easy to do and to show when we are out doing things. Our example is the best that we can do, I think.
Yeah, picking in this last line from Rui, going a little bit further, student-led projects. Why not? Give them the money, give them the mentoring, but let them come with the ideas and let them operationalize these ideas and make these programs happen. Also, another thing. Green ambassadors programs. Use our micro influencers that we have in our community, in our students community. We have some students that have millions, not millions, but a lot of followers in the social media. So maybe use these students to engage another ones and make them like green ambassadors for green behaviors, to promote green behaviors. In the academic part, we can also encourage faculties to lead research on sustainable sports practices involving other areas, science, management. We all have different faculties in our university, so maybe like a collaboration between these faculties to research on sports sustainable practices. Use technology. 2 years ago, Bruno, we in our forum in Portuguese in our Portuguese Sports Services Association. The big topic of the forum was gamification, and this is something that we really need to use more to promote and to reward systems, make competitions, use AI, use apps to engage the community in these green behaviors, and provide feedback mechanisms so our users, our community, our students, staff, professors can give us the feedback and give us their own perspective, can give us the ideas. We can do this by questionnaires or just make boxes where they can leave their recommendations, things like this to involve all the community. Bruno.
I would like to say that our next forum will be about artificial intelligence in sports, so you are invited in January. Let me make some publicity. But what I have more to say about this, I believe sometimes our communication it's not correct. let me say. We will say to a student that have 19 or 20 years old, came made sports because it's good for your health. They have health. This is a problem for me and for Fernando or for Rui. We would like to make sports because it's good for our health, because we are worried about that. But a student with 19 or 20 or 21 didn't care about that. They can go to the night, drink some pints, and then came at, and no, that is not a problem for him. So why we still saying came made sports because it's good for your health? No, the message it's not. I believe the communication is not correct. And then we came for what Tiago said, the gamification. It's probably if we made some activities like Rui said, that pick up the garbage and walk like 10 kilometers, and we don't need to say that it was good for their health, but they made it, you understand, and it was a community activity, and even if they didn't realize that you made some activity. So I believe sometimes beside what they said, both of them said, we must change a little bit the way that we communicate to our students, saying that have a different approach of what we're doing in sports or physical activity, more like Tiago said, more things like I'm going to give you an example. Next week we're going to organize a 4-on-4 volleyball tournament in Porto. Our inscriptions are completely full. It must be mixed. The teams we don't have referees, so even the teams are making the referees. So, and they play from 6 p.m. until 2 a.m. and they don't care. Keep the things easy, you know. And there are lots of them playing. So I believe and now our message will be is the volleyball Christmas tournament. You don't say that came. It's like, you understand. It's more easy. I believe that our communication is more related with our specific targets. That it's really important. Of course, for the teachers and for our staff, probably we must change the way that we communicate, of course. But this is very, very important what Tiago said. It's good that you have in your team some young guys that could help you on that could have that approach, and that you could use them to even the followers for the this is very important also, I believe so.
Well, it's clear that involve students in the process. It facilitates the success of the activities, and is also in the spirit of these guidelines, this standard that are present in Green Campus and in Healthy Campus, of course. And regarding this, to involve more people, I have here one last question, and then I will give the floor to our people that is here participating. Regarding inclusion and accessibility, what can we do regarding the activity and the offer of activities of our sports services to involve other targets, people, all the population, and sometimes people with different needs. What is your idea regarding this? Because it's always present in sustainability and even in the Sustainable Development Goals. Involve everybody, put everybody in the process. Tiago.
Well, I will insist and engage this population, engage the underrepresented groups in the decision-making process. So we must involve them to really understand their needs and what they think that is essential for to take part in our activities. We can design programs for all activities, all kinds of population, but we really need their feedback and their their better understanding of all the needs that they have, and so I will insist on this, that they need to make part of the decision making process, and of course then we can have programs that reflect the cultural diversity of the community. And we can also use the personal experiences of these underrepresented groups, like successful stories, or like make them share their personal stories and their personal achievements, so they can so we can get more attention from these groups, and of course measure this impact is also important.
As I said previously, if you have the time now, you can look back, please, and you are seeing. Well, I'm the glasses to see just here what is written here, but I think you can see some images of some projects that we are conducting here in Leiria. One of them is called Sports for All. Tiago said an important thing, that it's not a good strategy when you make programs that don't have the feedback from the people who too they are think of. And one of the programs also, besides this one, that is, as it says, Sports for All, is what we call the program of physical education for workers. So we already had this program for a long time. We stopped it for about 20 minutes during the day, and people would make some exercises. But now we have another one that we called in Portuguese Alter, which is we are playing with the alter, and the alter too means change in Portuguese. So, and so this way, people that would come out of the work and have to go home, no time for a gym or something, when they stop, they can do it there. So of course, for us, it's very important, this kind of inclusion, because that is an important part for us of sustainability, to make it available for almost, I would say, almost everyone. We can't reach everyone, but for almost everyone. We began, for instance, with this Sports for All. We began for asking and inviting people with disabilities and some institutions that we deal with to come to our Polytechnic University, and they came twice a week. And now we are using a facility, a sports hall that has full accessibility here back in Leiria. And we are doing that practice there with more conditions, more appropriate for everyone. So that's what we try to do, to make it possible for everyone to practice something. Not only sports in the traditional way of looking for sports, competitive, but physical education, exercise, and sports, of course.
I think that we have a problem here, is that normally if you rent a facility, you always see men playing there. Normally. Why? Because I don't know why. What happened here? I don't know why. Renting. Because probably 10 guys stay together and going to play futsal. We're not seeing 10 women doing that. Stay together and playing basketball. It's not normal. It's unusual. Okay, could be a cultural thing but in our countries that happen to rent a facility and go playing wherever. So we must change a little bit that kind of things also. I believe it's why some sports like paddle and that kind of sports that each time more use the both to play. It's very, very important to make that kind of activities that help more and more the women came to our sports service and practice sports. That is very important. And sometimes I believe that we are doing a wrong approach, that make only sports for women. Probably it's not the correct thing. Look, we have a good example. We made a course of self-defense only for women, and it was good. The first 3 editions. Then now they are saying to us, no, we need that men's, because if you want to practice, it could be with a man, because you have most. If you are attacked outside, so they start to demand that they would like to have. So You understand? Sometimes we are thinking only, okay, the women don't practice, so make a program special for her. Okay, but we must have the try to balance that thing, even for the peoples with disabilities. I believe we must have not a different approach, but an approach that if you're going to have a new facility, and if you have fitness room, and you're going to buy some machines, buy machines that could use by wheelchairs also. It's not, you understand that, because there is, so you could have that approach after that. If you start to buying only the machines for the normal people, no. If you're going to buy machines, go on the market and you see there is a lot of machines that you could use for all the people with the wheelchairs and people with disabilities. So this is a different approach that we could also made. So even in the for the kids, if you have programs for the kids in the summer camps, for example, we have boccia, we have some sports that even children start to learn goalball. That's one of the, so it's very important that even our young students start to realize there is people that are different, playing different sports, and the difficulty is to play that sports, because we don't realize how difficult it is to play that kind of sport. So it could be a different approach, I believe.
Can I just add something? Bruno was talking about the gender balance in sports, and I did an Erasmus staff mobility this year in Dresden University in Germany, and their approach it's very different from the Portuguese approach in this case, because all of their, not all, but the majority of their classes, their courses, how they call it, their, like if you book a basketball course, a basketball class, it's mixed. It's not for men or for women, it's mixed. If you book a volleyball class, it's mixed. So they don't make difference. It's just a sport. You're going to play volleyball. You're going to play who wants to play. Okay, so just to have this different perspective, very different from the Portuguese perspective.
Interesting, the organizations that work and develop programs for sport for all, they identify 18 different targets. So the knowledge is important to know what are the targets, and if we know the targets and the needs, it will be better to organize and to provide the best sport services. And of course, innovation and try to satisfy this community that is really interesting. Of course, composed by professors and staff and researchers, but mainly by students. And students are always different. They change, the needs change sometimes year by year. It's interesting, and we must be aware of that. So thanks for your knowledge, information. We are in good hands here. But I will give the opportunity if someone want to make some question to our invited persons here. We have one question here.
Ok, first of all, congratulations to the Instituto Politécnico de Leiria por esta iniciativa. And my question and the challenge for you is about the focus in the sports service as sustainable services, because in my opinion the focus normally is in the costs, to reduce the costs, and I think it's important also to put the focus on the self-incomes with the sports service. And my experience is that it's very important for the sports service to be connected with other service, to be sustainable. And my concept is the self-incomes from the sports service are not enough normally, and we must to mix the sports service with other service, like for instance the restaurants or other kind of service for to become sustainable. And I put this question, in my opinion, one of the problems of sports service is to develop the sports service only, and to have bad connection with other kind of partnerships and other service is my question.
So, do you have these experiences try to connect to make it more sustainable? Because in university sport, there is there is some goals about social responsibility, and we never fix the price from the cost perspective. So it's always an activity of promotion, and we assume some costs from an institutional perspective, and it's difficult to balance the cost with the incomes. But do you think that it could be a good strategy to involve other people? Tiago, you talked about money many times in your interventions, so you are concerned. Or developing some other different areas, some different services to have some income to balance a little bit more the service to balance more to have enough income to pay all the bills.
Yeah, I agree with Professor João. We always in Portugal we still have a long way to go, and when we talk about sustainability, we always think about the cost reduction, and maybe this is because sometimes it's the easier way to go to our boards and make them invest in green policies. If we install these panels, we will reduce the cost of energy in 32%, for example. So this is all. I think the approach have to change in the future, but right now it's still a little bit of. It's still a little bit like this. So yeah, I agree that maybe if we involve more services from the university and if we have collaboration with even the outside institutions, the municipalities, and I think this will help universities to balance their budget. Maybe I don't know if this is the thing that.
If I can say something from my experience regarding this topic, sometimes it's a marketing problem. We plan the activities from the side of the offer, and not from the side of the demand. So we need to make an effort each year to know what are the trends, what are the needs of the students, and to change the program with adapting to the needs. Because we know if we have many people using the sport services in the universities, we will have more income, and we can do more things, and we can balance a little bit from the economical side. In any case, my perspective is in sport services, what our income will be never, in my opinion, the total income, because the universities and the polytechnic institutes must have some responsibility on the budget. If you make it profit, they will be not involved in the process. So they need to pay. Also, they need to feel that they need to pay that sport and physical activity belongs to the educational program of the university, the global education program. We have one more question here. From Italy or from Belgium?
From Inas. But actually, it was a good introduction to what I wanted to discuss about, because, well, first of all, thank you, because you touched so many different topics, like from community engagement to gender equality. But my question is about a bit more what I do in my daily job, because, and probably this is not the right setting, because you are 4 Portuguese speakers speaking in English, okay? But it's a sign that, you know, like, because I know 3 out of 4 very well, and I know that you really care about internationalization and the fact that we need to think a bit outside our national boundaries. But it seems to me that with the current political climate, with the economic crisis, with the energy cuts, the university sectors is really becoming more and more interested in engaging with international projects. We see, like, I know also FISU sometimes struggles to find host. In INAS for sure, we see that members leave our organizations because they say we don't care about the international dimension. But I want to know about the topic of sustainability, because I think that, you know, the pollution that we have here in Portugal don't stop at the Spanish border. The pollution that we have, or the CO2 that we produce in Belgium don't stop at the French border. So my question for you is that, do you think that universities in university sports are still interested in developing international projects and activities to engage with sustainability, and how the sector can be helped to, what are the needs in the sector in order to kind of regain the momentum? Because it seems to me that the momentum is not there.
Who want to be consultant of INAS to solve the problem?
Of course, I believe that the internationalization is very important, and even the projects that we made together. And responding a little bit about what João said, even for the budget, because with that kind of projects, we also could have money to develop some kind of projects. So, in my opinion, in my opinion, if there is a university that's not a university, an organization that don't take care about the international area and the approach, for sure is not going to live, don't have a good, a long period of existence. But of course, it's very important that you have the right human resources in your organization to develop that. It's not easy just to saying, I'm going to participate in an international project. No, you have to have persons who made that happen. So it's why I believe each time more that even in the sports service, we must take care to have one or two persons that take care about that projects, international, and be there and apply for projects and be involved on that. Because and it can't be guys from sports. It could be guys from another area. It doesn't matter. But they must have played sports. This is very important. I normally like to hire people that can't be from the area, but they must practice something in the past, because that, in my opinion, is very important. It's very important. Even each time that I read a curriculum, I don't care also about the academic parts. I just take care about what they do outside the academic part. For the sports, for the involvement in the students' association, in the tunas, in the wherever. Okay, outside. That is very important, and especially in sports. But let me say, João, also, and Castanha, that this is very, very, we are here talking about it, but it's very important, the budget, of course, and the income that we could have. So each time that we could have an opportunity to have incomes, it doesn't matter if came the international or even the fuel company that is there when we rent, it doesn't matter. Each time that we could have that help us to develop sports projects. That's my opinion on that.
May I? Mr. Moderator. 40 seconds. I would say that every network is important. Of course, international networks are important, but national networks are also important. For instance, Tecnologia makes part of a national network on sustainable campus. And internal networks are also important. For instance, for some years ago, the sports sector in Leiria was not, I would say this very clearly, was not connected with the rest of for instance, the teachers. Now, Candida is there. Healthy Campus program was the responsible for physical education and sport teachers to begin to have a closer part with sports sector. It may seem not very understandable, but that's the way it was. Even being me and my colleagues sport teachers. But the sport management was not with us, just with the sports sector. Now that is different. because we are using all our energies, our resources. So our importance is that networks are important. Every network, I think.
I will pass the floor to Inês. Just to mention that Green Campus and Healthy Campus, these kind of programs are really important. All of us, we have people in in our services, in our organizations, sometimes are not so motivated, doing nothing, and it's opportunity to put him working. It's more sustainable also.
Thank you, Fernanda. I have a question for you. I don't know who wants to answer, but usually the researchers, the academics, are really in their own bubble, and then we have like sports managers and technicians in different areas that are very practical. And we all know that sometimes the two bubbles don't mix very well. I'm teaching at Nova SBE with the field lab of sports management. But the students there, they don't come from sports management or sports. So they come from economics, from financial background, operations, human resources, and they can do their master thesis in sports management with the knowledge from these different areas. And it's really interesting to understand that the students are very, very aware to the sustainability issues of the organizations. And we have a lot of master theses that focus on sustainability in sports, in different types of sports and different types of organizations, international organizations. And there's a huge lack of data on this. There's no data to be worked on in an academic perspective, because the organizations, they don't know how to collect the data. So how can they develop strategies with no data? If they don't know the impact of what they're doing, how can they develop their own strategies? So my question is, considering that I think that most of the people that are here have a little bit of the two bubbles. So we have the practical knowledge and the academical knowledge. But what can the organizations do, both academic or other sports institutions, to promote a little bit of these two areas, like a strategy in the organizations, but also data collection that helps us to support each other?
I will address this question to an academic person outside the bubble.
Make them adhere to Healthy Campus project. Because one of the things that we do now is, in the past, we had the practical programs like those that I was talking about, and you can see them passing, but there were no data collected. Now we are asking, because the persons that are in front of the programs know that is important, to use questionnaires that are validated, for instance, in the beginning, in the middle, in the end, and that is the way that we are doing to join the two worlds, let's say. And as Fernando said in the morning, I think, we held the Bright Friday to put more together the practical issues and the more theoretical issues. So every event or program that we have now, we are beginning to have data. This year we implemented a questionnaire for all the students in our polytechnic. We have 450 responders that we are now working with the data with, about a lot of things. How are they sleeping? That was an issue that was talked about today here. How many hours they sleep? Do they practice sport? What sport? Did you practice sport before you come to university? And now do you still practice? We know that around 40% of them dropped the practice. That is something that we are doing, working now, but very important information is coming from this questionnaire. So I think that's one of the possibilities.
We need to stop. Of course, in Green Campus, you can do the same approach. Thank you, guys. You were brilliant. Maybe the best panel and the best moderator for sure. We have a surprise now. Don't go. Just more 10 minutes around. You can sit. You can receive a big applause. And I will pass the floor to Ines.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, Rui, Bruno, and Tiago for sharing your knowledge and expertise. And thank you, Fernando, as well. So to conclude today's event, we are proud to celebrate the first universities that have been awarded the Green Campus label for their outstanding efforts in sustainability. Please join me in welcoming Andrea again to lead the ceremony and recognize these pioneers in sustainable higher education.
Yes. Yes. So we have a bit more time to prepare for this ceremony. And actually, I will hand over also the certificates with the INA Secretary General, Tiago Fernandes. So I won't be alone. But maybe just to take this occasion to thank everyone that stayed with us today. And I think it was a very informative session, a very informative occasion to share ideas, to share how we perceive the topic of Green Campus and sustainability. So I think that we deserve a round of applause for everyone. Now, we ready? Okay. So I ask the INA Secretary General Tiago Fernandes to come here. No, I know. So, and oh, we are still not ready. Yes. I need to improvise. I can sing, but I'm not sure you can listen to me. Yeah. For those who are watching live, it's we have some technical problems with the diplomas, but we are in the process of solving it. Yes, exactly.
Especially in the Portuguese
But if someone wants to sing instead of me, please take the mic. It's yours. The floor is yours. Or Bruno maybe wants to dance. Bruno Almeida, our former Secretary General. No, we are here. We are here. So I will start with the amazing host of these 2 days, the Istituto Politecnico de Leirio. And wait, because we have a picture to take. So Tiago, maybe. Yeah. Second one, Universidade do Minho. University of Porto.
Thank you very much. Congratulations.
And last but not the least, the partner of the project, Universidad Pablo de Olavide. Let's take a picture. And with that, I think we can call the meeting. Thank you, everyone. And yeah. Yeah, let's take a good picture.
Will receive the diploma.
Ah, okay. Sorry, I didn't know that.
This project is co-funded by the European Union